Hi there and welcome to Wordpandit. Let's discuss the word occult in this video. So as you can see this picture, we have a wizard here. Seems like he's right out of a Harry Potter book or a movie, and that is what occult also means. You know, when something is related to magic or mystical science or supernatural powers or magical powers. Okay, anything that has got to do with something which is not normally understood or ordinarily practiced by the general people, that is what is called occult. Okay, when something is really mysterious, secretive, has some extra powers, evokes some extra powers, that is called occult. Okay, now we will go ahead and take a look at the synonyms one by one, and that will definitely shed more light to what it actually means. So just remember that occult is a word that has got to do with something magic, something magical, and something secretive. Okay, a combination of these two words. Alrighty, now the first word that we have for you is abstruse. Now anything that is abstruse, it is basically difficult to understand. Okay, difficult to comprehend. Alrighty, now the next word is esoteric. Now the word esoteric itself refers to something which is really hard, really complex. Okay, something which is supposed to be understood only by a group of people, especially because that knowledge is passed on only to a certain group of eligible people. Okay, only if some people have a certain degree of interest or specialized knowledge, only then these secrets get passed on from one to the other. So anything that gets passed on in such a way is called esoteric, of esoteric nature. Okay, you can also say that when something is really difficult and complex to be understood, and when the key to understanding it is passed on from person to person, then that material becomes of esoteric nature. Alright, now the next word that we have is mystical. I'm sure that you guys would have heard this word before. This word is used in various contexts. Generally, when something is called mystical, you can say that this is related to mystics. Okay, who is a mystic? Basically a saint or a sage, someone who has given up on things, someone who is a heretic at times, you know, someone who is spending all of his life and time and efforts and energy into some kind of a spiritual conquest, so to speak. Okay, now in a religious sense, when you say that something is mystical, it usually has some kind of a spiritual symbolism. Okay, some kind of a spiritual significance, which is not that understood by people who do not belong to that particular spirituality or system of faith. Okay, so anything that evokes that kind of a spiritual mystery or spiritual fascination is called mystical. Okay, something which is just supposed to be understood by a group of mystics can be called mystical. Alright, now the next word that we have is obscure. Now obscure is also a rather common word. I'm sure you guys would have heard of it. Now when something is obscure, it is usually hidden from view, hidden from other people. You can also say that it cannot be understood with 100% certainty. So when something is rather uncertain or unclear, then also it can be called obscure. Okay, but generally when this word is used, the first meaning of being hidden, of being concealed from vision, that is used. Okay, now the next word is arcane. Now arcane also represents something which is understood only by some people and is otherwise secretive or mysterious to the others. Okay, when something is clandestine. Okay, when something is clandestine, it is supposed to be understood or seen by only very few people. So something is done in a very secretive manner when it is clandestine. Okay, now the next word that we have is orphic. Now this is a very rare word. I have hardly come across this word, maybe not more than once. So when something is orphic, basically it is not that apparent to the normal senses, not that obvious to human intelligence. When something is beyond the ordinary or beyond the normal understanding, in a very supernatural or in a very mysterious way, then you can say that something is really or fake. So I hope all of you understand these words through this video. I hope you have learned something new, and that is all that we have for you now. Happy learning.